So this is going to be the main song lesson for Year of the Cat, the strummed guitar part. You may already be having a go at the introduction, the piano riff put onto guitar. If you are, then great. But some of you will prefer to make your life a bit easier and avoid that. And if you're going to avoid that, this lesson will assume that you're just going to strum through the piano part. And that's beginning at the very beginning of the intro that you see on your song sheet. C major 7 to D to E minor 3 times, and then A minor 7 to D. That's the equivalent of the piano riff. The C major 7, down, down, up, then go to D, down, up, down, and see if you can get the movement to the E minor on the upstroke. So you're probably up on open strings, and then immediately into E minor, where you'll go down, down, up, bass up, down, up. Bass just as the low end of the chord. So down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, bass up, down, up. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Play that sequence twice more, and then go to A minor 7, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, or down, down, up, bass up, down, up is fine, and D, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now you can see then on your song sheet at lines 3 and 4 that that same sequence repeats. And then that's the piano riff taken care of. Now the whole band comes in, and they come in on a G major 7 chord. 6th string, 3rd fret, mute the 5th string, and 1st string, 2nd fret, I use the middle finger, you might prefer the index. Same strum pattern. So from now on the strum pattern will always be, except in one place where I tell you otherwise, down, down, up, bass up, down, up. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and for every bar. So I won't go back over it again until we get to the one part that's different, which by the way is the electric guitar solo. G major 7 goes to C major 7, and then we repeat G major 7, C major 7. Now we're going to go to a normal E chord, and then A minor 7. And then either play 2 bars of D, or if you want to try something a bit more like the record, you can do this. It's moving between D6 and D. Your 3-string bar of the top 3 strings at the 7th fret, down, down, and then go to a D chord that's 1st string, 5th fret, 2nd and 3rd strings at the 7th fret, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And then you can repeat it or play a slightly different rhythm the second time. I tend to play a different rhythm, but the same rhythm is fine. So coming from the E, and then one more time round the piano riff chords. So it's a long intro, Year of the Cat. That finally would take us into the first verse and the beginning of the vocal on A Morning from a Bogart Movie. Now the C major 7 D to E minor continues if you want to play exactly what Al Stewart plays. You can see him on videos playing this song where he's clearly going C major 7, D still, E minor, just like the intro. Feel free to do that, that will work, it's what Al Stewart is playing. But the bass player on the record is going from C to B to E. Now that B note doesn't belong in the chord of D, which Al is playing at that moment. The combination of Al's chord, D, and the bass player's B is really equivalent to a B minor chord, and that does work better to my ears, to go C major 7, B minor, E minor. So the reason I put D in parentheses there on that first line is you can choose. You feel which one you prefer, and it depends if you really are determined to play what Al Stewart is playing. I like the B minor, but he's actually playing D. 3 times play that sequence. On a morning from a Bogart movie, in a country where they turn back time, you go strolling through the crowd like Peter Lorre cartoon. And now you're A minor 7 to D6 D like we did it in the intro. Played in a crime, she comes. Now again, C major 7, B minor, E minor one more time. Out of the sun in a silk dress, running like a... Now he goes B to C. 3 options here. I like to jump up all the way up to the 7th fret, play a bar of 7 and the E shape in front of the bar. You can also get B by playing 2nd fret bar and the A shape in front of the bar, either with 3 fingers or with 1 lying down finger. That's also B. And if you really hate both of those, play a B7 in that place, which I think may be what Al is playing. And then it goes to C, which I just play normally. Like a watercolor in the rain. Just 1 bar of each of those chords, normal strum pattern. Now we're going to go C to B, where they share a bar and a bar of E minor. So it's like C major 7, B minor, E minor, but now we're going C, B, E minor. Don't bother asking for explanations, she'll just A minor 7 to a bar of normal D. Tell you that she came in the year of the... And now, on the word cat, back to the intro sequence. Lines 1 and 2 of your intro sequence. Cat. A minor 7 and D. And now you go into verse 2 and play verse 2 the same way. When you get to the end of verse 2, again, the year of the cat, going into the intro sequence, play it the same way you did at the end of verse 1. Now after verse 2, we're going to go to a bridge, the beginning of page 2 of your song sheet, B to C, 1 bar of each. She looks at you so coolly and her. And now a bar of G, normal G, to a bar of D, normal D. Eyes shine like the moon in the sea, she comes in. B to C again. Incense and patchouli, so you. Bar of G, take her to. Now F goes to C. Find what's waiting in. If you want to be really precise, that F is actually an F6. It's F plus the 2nd string 3rd fret. Find what's waiting in. Any problems with that, just play it as a normal F. And then a full bar of D. Sides. And at the end of this D, you're going to stop it. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, cat. So from the G, you take her to find what's waiting inside. 2, 3, 4, 1, the year of the cat. Intro sequence again. A minor 7 to D. And now we're going to go into the acoustic solo. And the good news about the acoustic solo is for you playing the rhythm part, it's the same as the beginning of the intro. So 1 time around the intro sequence, C major 7, D, E minor, and then it goes to the G major 7, C major 7 section that we played in the intro. So the acoustic guitar is playing over this sequence. G major 7 coming up. To E. 2 bars of D. By the way, on those 2 bars of D, you may prefer to play the D6 lick again. Like this. If you like that, then throw that in there too. Now, those 2 bars of D actually have the electric guitar beginning to come in. But his section begins properly on a 3rd bar of D. You can see on your song sheet where it says electric solo. We've got D to G, D to G. Now, every chord in the rhythm part underneath the electric guitar solo is what we call pushed. That means it comes in just ahead of its beat on the and of 4. So here's your electric solo rhythm part. Now, saxophone and intro sequence. So the electric solo rhythm then is a little different. On a D chord, down, 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 up, and then a G chord up. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. That coming on the and of 4 is crucial. It rings across the 1 beat of its own bar, and then we go and 2, 3, and 4, and. So again, D to G, down, 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 up, 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 down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. That's going to be the same strum pattern now for the whole of the guitar solo. So after the 2nd G, up, down, down, up, down, B minor, up, down, down, up, down, B7, up, down, down, up, down, C, up, down, down, up, down, A, 2, 3, 4, saxophone, 2, 3, 4, intro sequence again. Alright, so we came out of the acoustic guitar solo on 2 bars of D, and I'm going to run it from those 2 bars. In fact, I'll bring it from the E to get a little, even more context. Then I'll play the rhythm part under the electric solo, and I'll just run it into the beginning of what will be the rhythm part under the sax solo. Here we go from the E of the acoustic guitar solo. Making sense? Cool. If it does, then you're really home and dry, because what follows the sax solo, by the way, is just 1 time round the intro sequence chords again, like the last 2 lines of the intro, and we go into the final verse. Well, morning comes and you're still with her. That's the same as every other verse. And the outro goes out on the intro sequence chords that we're very, very used to playing by now. But just watch out for, after going around those intro sequence chords twice, back just 1 more time comes the G major 7, C major 7 sequence and the E, A minor 7, D. That comes back just 1 more time before going back into the intro again, because they want to make the outro fade out as long as the intro was. So that G sequence comes back in again. So if you want to get it just like him, at the end of the final verse, 2 times round the intro sequence. Time he again sings for the last time on the record, the year of the cat. Intro sequence again. A minor 7 of course, and D, and now the G major 7. As normal, going to E, A minor 7. Let's try the D6. And the outro sequence or intro sequence normal again. And that's just going to fade out on that. It's going to fade out on that standard intro sequence. We need to find some kind of ending. I like to end it on the E minor. So one time again round the sequence. When you get to the A minor 7, we'll let it go to the D. Coming up now, A minor 7, and the D, and E minor. Seems to be a good enough way to end it. And that's the rhythm part to Year of the Cat.